What's up, y'all? My name is Marie, but you can call me P, and today we're going to get into some stretching exercises. First, we're going to start off with a runner stretch. You want to get down on all fours. Make sure your leg is in a 90-degree angle, and you're going to sit up into that stretch, holding it for about 15-30 seconds each side. Make sure you feel it deep inside of your hamstring or your quad. Make sure you feel that stretch really good. We're going to go ahead and switch to the other side. Again, holding for about 15-30 seconds. We're going to do this stretch a few times just to make sure we get a good deep stretch. Each stretch you should feel a bit deeper and deeper into that stretch. These are great for before your workout, after your workout. A good stretch will keep you nice and loose, keep everything from getting too tight, too sore. Yeah. Now we're going to go ahead and go into a hamstring stretch. You want to get into a squat position, get your fingers underneath your toes, squat down, and then stand straight up as straight as you possibly can. If you can't get really straight, just make sure you feel that stretch in your hamstring. And we're going to do a few cycles of these before we move on to our next stretch. This stretch is also a hamstring stretch. I use my hands to make sure I get as deep as I possibly can. Make sure you feel this stretch in your hamstrings. You can also grab behind your ankles to also feel that deep stretch if you prefer. Right, this is just another angle of that stretch, just showing you how I use my hands to lower my upper body to get as deep as I possibly can of a stretch. Same thing, hands behind the ankles if you need to feel a little bit more, or if your stretch has reached its maximum extension. Next, we're going to go into a quad stretch. You can use a wall for balance, but most importantly, you want to make sure that heel is as close to your butt as possible and feeling that stretch through your quads. Holding again for about 15-30 seconds. I like to bend my knee to feel that stretch. You also can straighten your leg if you feel like the stretch is not as effective, but I prefer to bend my opposite knee just to get a full stretch. Next, we're going to go into a calf stretch, making sure your heels stay flat on the ground, standing up tall. Front leg is bent knee. The back leg is the one you're stretching, pushing your heel into the ground, feeling that stretch in your calf, holding for about 15-30 seconds. Be sure to do both sides, holding again for 15-30 seconds. We're going to do a few rounds of these. Make sure you're standing up tall, feeling that stretch in your calf, keeping that heel flat on the ground or as flat as possible. If you can't keep your heel flat, just bring your feet a little closer together and that'll allow you to keep the heels flat. I love doing this stretch on my lower body days, especially hamstring calf days. I'm really working on trying to build my calf, so stretching before is key. All right, we are now done with the lower body. Let's move on to upper body. This stretch is a back stretch. You want to get into all fours. Sit down into your heels, stretching your arms as far as possible, feeling that stretch in your back. Again, holding it for about 15-30 seconds, coming out of the stretch and going right back into it. All right, from here, we're going to go into a T-spine stretch. I'm going to get into all fours. Bring one arm behind your back up towards the ceiling, holding for about 15-30 seconds. And then we're going to bring that around underneath ourselves to hold that stretch, making sure your shoulder is as close to the ground as possible, feeling that stretch in your back. This exercise is great for opening up the back, warming up the back, the T-spine, just making sure everything is warmed up for a good upper body workout. As close to the ground as possible with your shoulder, holding that stretch for 15-30 seconds. All right, next we're going to move on into our tricep stretch. We're going to bring one arm to our side, holding that with our opposite hand for about 15-30 seconds, making sure you feel it in your triceps. Make sure you pull that arm, feel that stretch in the tricep. And we're going to do both sides, a few cycles of those. Next, we're going to go ahead and just warm up our neck. Roll those around a few times before moving into our next stretch. Right, another tricep stretch. Arm behind the back, using your opposite arm to pull that tricep, making sure you feel that stretch. Your hand should be reaching the middle of your back, and I'll show you what that looks like here. Hold that stretch 15-30 seconds. Next, we're going to go ahead and warm up our biceps just by swinging our arms back and forth. You want to make sure your arms are wide, stretching as wide as you can, just warming up those biceps. Next, we're going to go ahead into our shoulders and back. Again, reaching as far as you can, feeling that stretch in the back, in your shoulders. This is great for a shoulder workout or a back day, just getting everything loosened and warm. Thank y'all for stretching with me today. I hope you have a wonderful workout. Next video coming soon.